last and foremost concept of this particular module 2, which is directing and controlling, is control system. According to Breach, he says that control is a process of checking the performance of an employee against the predefined standards which has been planned by the organization. Why we need to check the performance of an employee? Checking the performance of the employee will help us to move further with the remaining concepts or remaining projects which is most essentially needed for us. Without checking the performance of each and every employee, it's impossible for us to identify which employee is good and which employee is bad and which employee is average. Identifying the performance of an employee based upon the predefined standards which has been identified by the organization before starting the organization. Whenever we want to check the performance, we will check the performance based upon the standards which is already defined by the organization. If it meets the standards of our organization, if the performance of the employee meets the standards of our organization, then we call it as satisfactory performance. If the employee performance doesn't meet the standards of the organization, then it is called as unsatisfactory performance. So best example that I can take here is a feedback of an employee, feedback of a teacher from a student. Like earlier in the previous semesters, we used to take the feedback of an employee, feedback of our teachers semester wise. But today we are taking the feedback from you class wise by using the Great Learning app, isn't it? Every day we ask you to give the feedback on the class which has been conducted to you. Why we require this particular feedback? Feedback will help us to measure the performance of the employee. If the performance of the employee is more than 4, then it is considered as excellent. If the performance of an employee is less than 4 and more than 3, then it is considered as good. If the employee performance is in between 2 and 3, then it is average. If the performance of an employee is between 2 and 1 or 0, then the performance of an employee is bad. So these are nothing but we call it as the criteria which we fix in order to measure the performance of the teacher based upon the feedback given by the students. So based upon that, we will be able to identify which teacher is capable of performing, which teacher is capable of handling this particular subject effectively, and which teacher is more effective, which teacher is bad in this particular subject, and what are the actions that we can take in order to correct the performance of the employee can be known to us by taking the support of performance. Current performance of each and every employee will be checked based upon the standards. If it meets the standards, not an issue. If it doesn't meet the standards, then we have to take the corrective measurements and actions in order to make him to correct himself and work in a proper manner. Controlling is nothing but identifying the best suitable employee and worst suitable employee in the organization. There are different types of people who will be involved in the organizations. So each and every people will be having their own mentality, and based upon that they will be working. If the work is satisfactory, then not an issue based upon the performance. If the work is not satisfactory, then they will be taking the corrective measurements or actions to make that particular employee to give a better performance than worst performance in the organization. Whereas the another person, George Terry, says that we are going to determine the performance of an employee once he completes the work. Here the process takes place parallelly. As soon as he starts the work, every day the process takes, and the process of measuring the current performance of an employee is evaluated every day, every time, after each and every performance, after each and every class. Taking the feedback is one which helps us to identify whether he is good in that particular subject or not. And this particular current performance measurement will help me to know, can I shift this particular subject to any other faculty who is having a very good performance earlier, or can I make him to understand what the situation and make him to read more on that particular subject and teach the students in a proper manner. So that can be possible with the current performance. But when it comes to this second definition, he says that controlling is the one where we are going to evaluate the performance of performance of an employee once the work gets completed. Once the work gets evaluating the performance, and if necessary applying corrective measurements so that the performance takes place according to the plan. So here he says that we are going to measure the performance once the work gets completed, and if the performance is satisfactory, then not an issue. If the performance is not satisfactory, then we need to take some proper corrective measurements in order to improve the performance of the employee so that the work must not get disturbed at all. So in overall, when it comes to the control system, here in simple manner, if I want to speak, here we are going to control the employees. How we are going to control the employees? By measuring the performance of an employee based upon the work which has been allocated to him. How we are going to measure the performance? Performance is measured based upon the standards which has been fixed by the organization. If the performance of an employee meets the standards, then not an issue. If the employee's performance doesn't meet the standards, then we have to take some proper measurements in order to correct that employee or some other actions which can affect his career also, depending upon the situation of the organization. So here, control system is broadly divided into 3 different steps. The first step here is establishment of standards. As I said you, first we have to establish the standards in order to measure the performance of the employee. Here, in this particular case, first we are going to establish the standards in order to measure the performance of an employee. What is the first and foremost step in control process is setting up the standards of performance, and these standards acts as a reference lines or basic of actual performances. Standard experiences, when it comes to the process, the standard experiences will help us to identify the performance of each and every employee based upon the percentage of performance value that has been obtained on the employee. So different types of standards can be used here. One is physical standard, second one is cost standard, third one is revenue standards, fourth one is capital standards, and the fifth one is intangible standards. See, there are different varieties of standard measurements can be used in order to measure the performance of an employee. Whenever we want to measure the performance of an employee, the standards has to be fixed by the organization. We have to set up the standards of performance which is most essentially needed for the organization in order to identify the percentage of performance which has been evaluated, and if that particular percentage meets the standards of the organization, then there is no need of taking any corrective actions. If it is less than that of percentage, then we need to take the corrective measurements or actions in order to make him to improve the performance of himself. So this is what about the control system speaks about. Whereas the second step here is, after establishing the standards, next is we have to measure and compare actual performance with standards. So what this particular actual measuring and comparing speaks about? See, the quantitative measurement should be done in case where the standards set in numerical terms. There are different ways. One is grading system and the other one is numerical system. Numerical method is nothing but which helps you to identify the percentage, whereas grading system will help you to identify under which grade, whether it is an A grade or B grade or C grade or D grade. That can be done. That if I am measuring the performance of an employee in terms of grading system, then it is called as qualitative. If I am measuring the performance of an employee in terms of numerical terms, then it is called as quantitative. Quantitative measurement should be done in case where the standards been set in a numerical form, and this will make evaluation easy and simple. This will make numerical measurement of standards will help me to evaluate easy and simple. In all other cases, the performance should be measured in terms of qualitative factors. Qualitative factors depends upon the industry and the relationship between the employees and the manager. The measurement of performance in terms of attitude of work, the measurement of performance can be done based upon the attitude of work, frequency of strikes, and morale towards the work. Once the performance is measured, it should be compared with the standards to detect the deviations. So qualitative speaks about measuring the performance of the employee based upon the type of relationship that employee and the manager is having. And here the measurement of a qualitative analysis of performance can be done based upon different criteria, where the first criteria here is attitude of work, frequency of strikes, morality of work, morality in the sense the concentration towards the work which has been assigned to an employee. Based upon that, the measurements can be done. So each and every measurement of performance is compared with the standards which has been fixed by the organization. Why we have to compare? Comparison will help me to identify the deviation of an employee compared to the work with other activities. Once the measurement is done, if it meets the standards, as I said you, the third step that has to happen here is taking the corrective actions. The first step was establishing the standards. Second step was measuring and comparing the performance with the standards, and the last one is taking corrective actions. What this corrective action speaks? Corrective actions is the final step. Taking the corrective action is the final step in control process, and it is one which is used to identify the drawback of each and every employee based upon the performance. If the performance of an employee doesn't meet the standards of the organization, if the performance of the employee doesn't meet the standards of the organization, then we need to take the action on that particular employee. What type of actions that we can take? We can motivate him and we can say him, this is what you are doing wrong, and you have to change your attitude and you have to work on the assigned work which has been assigned to you. If it is not so, if the performance is zero, then we have to make him to quit himself from the organization. Like, there are different ways of taking the actions. One way is giving the memos to the employee saying that your work is not satisfactory and correct it within so and so time. If it is not possible, then you will be removed from the organization. That is one way. Second way is motivating the employee saying that you are doing something wrong in this particular working process and it is not correct, and correct yourself. There are different ways of actions that we can take. If the standards are found defective, then compulsory there will be some sort of light observations which has to be done by the manager by providing him a chance to change his attitude towards the work. If the attitude changes and if the work performance increases, then no action is needed. The second way is, if he fails again, then we have to take the action when some corrective action is needed based upon the situation. If he doesn't accept my proposal earlier, and based upon my warning, then we have to make him to quit himself from the organization. So these are the three different steps which we have to follow when it comes to the control systems. First step is we have to establish the standards based upon the type of organization, and keep in mind each and every organization will not be having same type of standards. Like BITM, best example is same organization, RYMEC and BITM. RYMEC is having its own method of measuring the standards of performance of each and every employee, whereas BITM is also having their own method. RYMEC is taking the support of students in order to measure the performance of the employee semester wise, but BITM is having the process of measuring the performance of the employee year wise. depending upon the points we will be mentioning you. There will be some 10 different points which will be mentioned, whether the teacher is giving you the best examples, or whether the teacher is providing you the best required resources which is most essentially needed for the subject. There are different types of criteria which will be fixed here, right? So 10 different criteria which has been fixed by us, but in terms of BITM they have fixed 5 standards. By 5 standards meets, then the teacher is considered as good teacher. If the out of 5 standards, if 2 standards doesn't meet and 3 standards meets, then he is considered as average teacher. If only 1 standard meets and the other 4 doesn't meet, then he is considered as weak teacher, or the teacher who is not worthful for this particular job. So they will be considering all these particular criteria, and they will be moving further in order to take the corrective measurements and actions in order to make that particular employee to work in a proper manner. So this is what about the control system and steps involved in control system. There are 3 different steps. One is establishment of standards. Second one is measuring and comparing the performance of an employee with standards. Then the third one is taking corrective measurements, taking corrective actions or measurements in order to make that particular employee to come back to the work in a proper manner or quit from the job. So this is what about the control system and steps involved in control system. Whereas the last and foremost concept of this module 2 is control system types. There are 2 types of control system. One is past oriented control system and the other one is future oriented control system. What is past oriented control system? See, past oriented control system is a one which measures the result after the process. If we measure the result after completing the process, then it is called as past oriented control system. Once the process once you take the input and once you complete the process, then later we will be thinking about the performance. But in terms of future oriented control system, it is similar to steering process. Like we know each and every car is having steering, each and every bike is having handle to control. So how you are going to control your bike or car? Future oriented control system is similar to steering control, or we can also say it as feed forward control. See, when it comes to the past oriented control system, after the completion of work which has been assigned to the employee, we are going to measure the performance. If the performance of an employee is measured after the work gets completion, then it is called as past oriented control system. Here, whereas in terms of future oriented control system, we are going to measure the performance of an employee step by step, each and every day, each and every time the performance of an employee is measured. If the process of controlling, the process of measuring the performance takes place immediately as soon as he starts the work. In this particular case, we are not going to wait until the work gets completed. Here we are going to control the employee and the performance of an employee, measure the performance of an employee every time as soon as the work is allocated to him. So this is what about the future oriented. So what is the difference between control or future oriented and past oriented control system is, here when it comes to the past oriented control system, each and every time they examine what has happened in the past for a particular period. For example, account recording, school grade reports, then control. These are the controls of plan the future behavior or post errors or success. Whereas feed forward, this control designed to measure the results during the process so that the action can be taken before the job is done or the period is over. Before the job gets completed, we are going to measure the performance of an employee as soon as he starts the work is nothing but the future oriented. We can also say it as feed forward, or we can also say it as steering control. As soon as you start your bike, we will be having a control towards your handle, or when if you start your car, you will be having a control towards your steering. Everyone knows steering, right? So as soon as you move further, the steering process comes into the picture and it will be under action. Every time we are going to measure the performance of your movements, and we are going to check the performance of each and every step that you are carried out in terms of that particular work. And this particular control process is carried out before the work gets completed, whereas this is carried out after the work gets completed. Past oriented, future oriented. Past oriented is nothing but once the process of work gets completed, we are going to measure the performance at a time. Whereas in terms of future oriented, we are going to measure the performance of each and every employee as soon as they start the work and before the completion of the work. Before completing the work and after as soon as they start the work, we are going to check the performance of an employee. That is what the difference between future oriented control system and past oriented control system. And this is what about the second module here is. So in the second module, we have discussed about